Hello there, this is Louise Crane, Complete Business Bureau. Thanks for joining me on my video blog. Today I wanted to share some insights into networking. Something that people I think quite often struggle with on how to get it right. I still don't do it every time myself, but I've been networking for quite a number of years, both when I was in corporate sales jobs and then more recently I launched Complete Business Bureau in 2014 and I've had to really get myself sort of set up on the local networking circuit, and I've had some really good advice on the way from various people as well as things that I've learned and seen for myself, so I thought it'd be really good to share some of that with you. I've decided to use the networking acronym more than anything just to help me remember the bits I wanted to share with you, but it might also help you to remember some of the key points if you find them of use to take forward. So the first one is N, which is for no selling. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is that temptation to go in there and just start talking straight away about what it is that you're there to sell, what your product or your service is. And nobody wants the hard sell at these events. They're actually there to get to know you, get to find out a bit more about you. Yes, of course they want to know what it is that you do, but it's also about getting to know you as a person. So don't just go in there and try and sort of flog whatever it is that you're selling, because it just won't work. E is for enthusiasm, so it's all about going in there, being yourself, just having a bit of fun with it as well, really. Not being afraid to have a bit of a joke, a bit of a laugh with people, but also be just enthusiastic about what it is that you do. So whilst you're not doing the direct hard sell, you know, when you are talking about your business, it should be something that lights you up and you feel really passionate about. So I think that should be, make sure that comes across in the conversations that you're having with people. Talk is T. For me, this is one of the ones that I've seen people get wrong. Don't be afraid to talk, you know, that's what you're there for. For people that dread the networking events, perhaps people that are, you know, a little bit on the shy side, it's very tempting to stay on the sidelines, listening on other conversations that are taking place and not really be a part of that. If you do that, then yes, you'll learn about what other people do, but you're not going to get an opportunity to talk to them and you know, get yourself known as well. So just don't be afraid to participate and be, you know, a real part of that networking event. The same token though, W is for wait, as in wait your turn. Nothing worse than that kind of bulldozer effect. There's always one that comes along, you're in the middle of a conversation and they'll sort of jump straight in there without sort of waiting to be invited or without waiting for a pause in the conversation so they can actually join in. Just, you know, just have a little think about waiting until the right moment to sort of become part of that conversation. O is for offering help. This is one of the things that I think skilled networkers do really well, and actually that they focus on this before they even start talking about, you know, their own reasons for being there. And you can offer help in various different ways, whether it's you know, someone's telling you about a challenge that they've got a particular difficulty, you can offer advice, maybe referrals if you know somebody that would really benefit from the product or service that they are selling. It can be a whole ream of things. Whatever it is, just it helps you to be, I guess there's that whole adage about you need to know, like and trust somebody before you buy from them. Helping out is a really good way to start that relationship on a really good footing. So always bear that in mind. R is for research. Couple of pointers on this really. Firstly, research where your ideal client's going to hang out. You know, one of the things that you really need to understand is who are you actually targeting. There's no point going along to a networking event that's full of large corporate players if actually you're looking to target the smaller businesses. Likewise, if there's a certain industry that you want to specialise in, you know, find out where those clients hang out and make sure that you're part of that networking scene as well. And also, once you have signed up to an event, if you can get hold of an attendee list, then make use of that, have a look through, see who's there that you're going to want to connect with. And sort of almost have a short list of people to make sure that you speak to. That's a really good way to make the most of the limited time that you've got at an event. K is for knowing your business. Now, it's a bit of an obvious statement. I'd hope that you do know what your business is and what you're doing, but more about how you can summarise that really concisely, particularly where you're at events where you need to provide an elevator pitch, you need to sort of stand up and do your 60 seconds. But even when you're meeting somebody at a more general networking event, you need to be able to summarise what it is that you do. You know, what makes you stand out from the crowd, what's your unique selling point. So as an example, for myself as a virtual assistant, there's an awful lot of VAs out there. So it's about, you know, what do I do differently? What's the particular skills that I can offer that perhaps another VA wouldn't be able to compete with? I is for introductions, and this is all about making the most of the host. The host is there to actually introduce people. So if you know there are certain people that you do want to speak to, going back to my point on research, then ask for those introductions. And likewise, if you know there are other people that might be of interest to somebody that you're talking to, then you be the one to facilitate that. Again, it goes back to being able to offer help and being able to, you know, establish those connections on their behalf. N is for navigating the room. So don't just be tempted by going to those familiar faces that maybe you've met previously, but actually making sure that you look around and see who else is there that you haven't met before. You don't know who these people, whether they might be a direct fit for your business or whether they might know somebody else who is. You don't know until you actually make those conversations start. And then finally, G is giving out details. And by this, I don't mean thrusting your business card under everyone's nose, hoping that they might take it and remember you. They won't actually. The reality is they'll probably end up filed under B for bin when they get home, because you haven't actually talked to them. You've just chucked a business card at them. But where you have had those interesting conversations, where there are people that you'd like to follow up with afterwards, make sure that you do give them a business card or a flyer or whatever literature you might have with you. And then I guess more importantly is to make sure you do then follow up, because that's one of the key things. There's no point going along to any networking event if you're not actually going to then follow up and establish those connections afterwards, whether that's dropping them an email, following up with information you said you're going to send, maybe linking in with them, or connecting on other social media platforms and keeping that relationship going. That's the way that you're truly going to get the most out of your networking. And whether, as I said, whether they're a direct selling opportunity or whether they will just remember you and be happy to refer you to other people that are, that's really how you can get a really good starting point and building that sort of local networking connection for you. I hope that was helpful. If there are any other tips and things that you think maybe I haven't mentioned, it's quite a vast topic actually, but if there's something that's worked really, really well for you, then drop me a note and I'll share that with my audience. But thanks for listening, and I look forward to seeing you or speaking to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.